What's going on, guys? So in the last video that I just posted up, we still I got the garage space, and not only that, but we got the motor and trans out of the BMW, which is a very important task that was on hand. Now we can get into tearing the motor down and getting all the leaks and everything that needs to be fixed done. Fortunately, disconnecting the trans from the motor did not come without complications. One of those being, major complication being that mounting point broke off from the engine. I still have the piece, and that is purely from sheer tightness of how tight the bolt was in it. It took me a while to get it out, and it was just extremely tight, and it cracked and broke off completely on its own. And also, the threads for this one are also pretty screwed on them, so that I wouldn't trust that either. These threads are good, and those threads are good, which is decent. And then also, this little bolt here that goes for the oil pan, the head also broke off of that. So I have a feeling that even though this car sat for a while, that things were tinkered with. I mean, I can look at the oil pan gasket and tell that's not factory. So I have a feeling that things were replaced and just absolutely cinched tight down, and now I'm gonna have to deal with the repercussions of that. So it is what it is. Gonna get everything done, everything fixed. I'll probably have to take it to a shop and have them weld that back together and figure out the bolt holes, whether I re-drill them with new threads, or I'm not really sure what I'm gonna do, to be honest. We'll figure that out. But yeah, the goal is to keep on tearing apart. I just got the headers off. These were extremely rusty, and so I used all hand tools because I was very much afraid of things breaking, and I just again didn't want to deal with that after having the whole nightmare with the trans disconnecting. So took a time lapse of that. I'll throw that up, and then yeah, we're just gonna keep on tearing into the car and ripping things apart and documenting as we go. So let's get into it. Well, the motor is officially stripped down, at least for as much as I need to strip it down. I'm not going to take everything off just because I don't need to, but yeah, mostly everything that I need. So the whole intake system's off, got the whole wiring harness off, belts, everything else that I needed to take off is now off. Didn't film a whole lot of it just because I was been here and there, in and out of this place trying to get it done, just when I can after work. But came over today, was able to get the bulk of it done, so now I can actually go home and order parts. I did loosen all of the oil pan bolts and the valve cover screws and stuff like that, just to make sure, because unfortunately we did have some casualties. This has been messed with before, and whoever messed with it was a moron and cross-threaded shit, very much over tightened stuff, just pretty much didn't know what the fuck they were doing. So yeah, that's something I have to fix now. So yeah, the engine's gonna have to go to a shop. But in general, I'm happy that I can at least start ordering parts now, get a parts list all together, get everything ordered, and then figure out what I'm gonna do with that in the meantime, and then get it back together. Now that it's apart, I'm even more motivated to get parts and slap it all back together, because that's really all it should be. I mean, realistically, taking it apart wasn't that difficult. I'm happy about that. Besides like bolts breaking and stuff like that, it really wasn't like overly complicated. Everything kind of plug and play. So hoping I can get the parts and everything can go back together just as smoothly as it came apart, if not smoother. No broken bolts, things torque correctly, not over tightened, no bullshit. I'm trying to do it right this way. Once the motor and trans are back in the car, it's a good ripper. I don't want to have to take the motor and trans out every month, every couple weeks because I have to fix something. I want it to go back in and be in for a while. Because then once it's in, I can work on the cosmetics of the car. I can work on making the car look nice. I definitely have some chassis stuff to do, angle. But yeah, once the motor and trans are done, then we can work on even more shit. But this is the goal right now, get all parts ordered and yeah, go from there. Alright guys, well, as you can see, I got the motor and trans on pallets loaded up in the back of my truck, and that is because we have a shop that is going to be fixing the engine trans mounts as well as removing the 5 broken bolts from the for the oil pan that are stuck in the block. I tried to extract them myself, but it just wasn't working, and honest to God, I don't want to be the one to mess it up and make it worse and do damage that I can't come back from. So I'd rather bring it to a shop that can professionally do it and get it done the right way. So that's the plan now, is to get the motor and trans down there. This way they can do what they gotta do, fix it. And in the meantime, I will be ordering parts for everything here. This way, hopefully the goal is once I get the motor and trans back, just to be able to put all the new parts on it, slap it back in the car and keep on shredding. So, but yeah, just wanted to give you guys that update. That'll be it for this video, and we'll be able to start next video on hopefully getting the engine and trans back and being able to start putting everything back together. But yeah, appreciate it and see you in the next one.